Hello and good morning to one and all present here. Today we are going to discuss about object-oriented programming language. Please kindly wait until the end of the presentation to ask queries. At the end of this unit, all the students will be able to learn the following things. Programming paradigms. 1. Procedural. 2. Structure and 3. Object-oriented. Features of OOP. 1. Class. 2. Object. 3. Encapsulation. 4. Abstraction. 5. Inheritance. 6. Polymorphism. Advantages of OOP. Applications of OOP. Introduction and Programming Paradigm. A programming paradigm is a way or style of programming. Object-oriented programming, OOP, is the term used to describe a programming approach based on objects and classes. It is developed by Alan Kay in the year 1970. Common programming paradigms are: 1. Procedural. It is constructed as a set of procedure. In procedural programs divide into certain functions so data store in a variables and functions operate on that data. This type of program is very simple and straightforward. There is duplication of codes over and over. Advantages. 1. It is used for general-purpose programming. 2. Procedural functions are easy to understand. 3. Procedural languages are easy to access for learning and educational purpose. 4. It is reusability. 5. It is simple and sequential types of programming. Disadvantages. 1. It provides less security level compared to OOP. 2. It is not considering as the best programming language. 3. It is good for single-user code, and not for multiple projects works. 2. Structural. Structured programming is a process to design programming integrating small logical units, modules, so that the program becomes easily comprehensive, effective and can easily be revised according to the need. Structured programming uses a top-down design model. Therefore, structured programming is also called modular programming. There are various kinds of structured programming languages. C, PHP, ALGOL, etc. are some examples of structured programming languages. For an example: A. Sequence. B. Selection. C. Loop. Top-down design. Top-down design is the process of writing complex, or large programs, dividing them in small subunits called modules. Then the subunits can easily be managed because this process adopts divide and conquer principle. The structure of the top-down design is as follows. Advantages. 1. It is easy to write a code in structured programming. 2. It has the reduced complexity. 3. It is less time-consuming in comparison to unstructured programming. 4. It is easier to maintain, revise, manipulate, and solve the problem. 5. It is reliable. 6. Multi-programmers can work at a time because of modular system. 7. Modules can be used and reused. 8. Flow of control is clear. Disadvantages. 1. The code which is written may repeat in different parts of the program. 2. Program can be longer. 3. Lack of information. 3. Object-oriented programming. It is based on the concept of class and objects. Example: Java, .NET, Python, Ruby, etc. Some example of class and objects in OOP. For example, fruits is class in banana, apple, orange are objects. Likewise, car is class in BMW. Toyota and Suzuki are objects. Features of object-oriented programming. 1. Class. 2. Object. 3. Encapsulation. 4. Abstraction. 5. Inheritance. 6. Polymorphism. 1. Class. A class is a collection of objects that share common properties, behavior, and relationships. Once the class is defined, then any number of objects of that class is created. For example, students, teachers, library, classroom are the members of school class. Classes are user-defined data types. Therefore, a class can hold both data and functions. 2. Object. An object is an instance of a class. It is a collection of data members of that particular class. Therefore, each object is identified by a unique name. For example, BMW, Toyota, Suzuki are objects of class car. 3. Encapsulation. It is the process of enclosing the data, variables, and the methods for manipulating the data into a single entity known as class. It helps to hide the internal implementation of the functions for security purpose. Encapsulation equals reduce complexity plus increase usability. Advantages of encapsulation: 1. It provides data hiding. 2. It increased flexibility. 3. It also promotes reusability and makes it simple to alter to meet new needs. 4. Abstraction. Abstraction is the process of hiding the internal details of an application from the outer world. It is to remove some characteristics from something to reduce it to a smaller set. It is similar to data encapsulation. Abstraction equals data hiding plus reduce complexity, plus isolate impact of changes. There are two types of data abstraction. 1. Data abstraction. Data abstraction means hiding the details about the data. Data abstraction is a technique for creating complicated data types and exposing only the actions that are necessary. 2. Process abstraction. Process abstraction means hiding the implementation details. In this process, a programmer hides all but the relevant data about an object in order to reduce complexity and increase efficiency. Advantages of abstraction: 1. It reduces the complexity. 2. It helps to increase security of an application or program. 3. It avoids code duplication and increases reusability. 4. It can change internal implementation of class independently without affecting the user. 5. Inheritance. It is the process of reusing and extending existing classes without modifying them. The existing class is known as a base class, whereas the new class is known as a subclass. The subclass shares some of the properties of the base class, therefore, a code can be reused by a subclass from base class. 6 types of inheritance. 1. Single inheritance. 2. Multilevel inheritance. 3. Multiple inheritance. 4. Multipath inheritance. 5. Hybrid inheritance. 6. Hierarchical inheritance. 1. Single inheritance. In single inheritance, a derived class is created from a single base class. For example, class X is the parent class, and class Y is the child class, since class Y inherits the features and behavior of the parent class X. 2. Multilevel inheritance. In multilevel inheritance, a derived class is created from another derived class. For example, X is the parent class of Y and class Y is the parent class of Z. So, here class Z implicitly inherits the properties and behavior of class X and class Y. 3. Multiple inheritance. In multiple inheritance, a derived class is created from more than one base class. For example, class Z inherits the properties and behavior of class Y and class X at the same level. So, class X and class Y both are the parent classes for class Z. 4. Multipath inheritance. In multipath inheritance, a derived class is created from other derived classes and the same base class of other derived classes. For example, class S inherits the properties and behavior of class R and class Q as well as class P. Both class R and class Q inherit the class P. So, class P is the parent for class Q and class R as well as class S. 5. Hybrid inheritance. This is a combination of more than one inheritance. It may contain of multilevel and multiple inheritance, or hierarchical and multilevel inheritance, or hierarchical and multipath inheritance, or hierarchical, multilevel and multiple inheritances. 6. Hierarchical inheritance. In hierarchical inheritance, more than one derived class is created from a single base class. For example, parent class A has two child class B, and class C class B has two child class D, and class E, class C has two child class F, and class G respectively. Advantages of inheritance. 1. It provides code reusability. 2. Reusability enhanced reliability. 3. It leads to less development and maintenance costs. 4. Inheritance helps to reduce code redundancy. 5. Inheritance facilitates creation of class libraries. 6. Polymorphism. Polymorphism refers to many form, which was derived from Greek words poly means many, and morphe means forms. It is also known as multiple forms. There are two types of polymorphism. A. Compile-time polymorphism. 1. Method overriding. 2. Operator overloading. B. Runtime polymorphism. 1. Virtual functions. A. Compile time polymorphism. A method or function is called at the time of program compilation. It is also known as static binding. Compile time can be categorizing into two. 1. Method overriding. It means one method can perform more than one task. A single method or function is used to perform many tasks with the same name, but in different types of arguments. For example, int max, int a, int b. If a greater than equals b, return 0, else return 1. DoTA, operator overloading. It is used to perform different operations on the same operand. That means additional tasks to operators without changing its actual meaning. It can be used to provide a special meaning to the user-defined data types. For example, int x equals 2 plus 3, b. Runtime. It is also known as dynamic or late binding. During a runtime polymorphism, functions are called at the time the program execution. Therefore, it is more flexible because all the things executed at the runtime. 1. Virtual functions. It is declared by virtual keyword. The return type of virtual function may be void, float, and int. A virtual function is dynamic. Therefore, it helps to tell the compiler to perform dynamic binding on the function. Advantages of object-oriented programming. 1. Reusability. User can create or define class which is easy to reuse and can call again as per we need. DoTA, data redundancy. Data redundancy is one of the greatest advantages, which store in two different places. 3. Data security. Data can be hidden from outside world using encapsulation. 4. Code maintenance. It provides easy and time saving to maintain and modify the existing codes. 5. Productivity. It creates user-friendly environment and high productivity. 6. Easy maintenance. Software complexity can be managing easily and can minimize the cost of OOP program. Applications of OOP. 1. Real-time systems design. Object-oriented programming techniques make easier to handle difficult and complex program. DoTA, hypertext and hypermedia. Due to hypertext and hypermedia, it can be stored, searched and edited easily. It is easy to handle text, media and sound. 3. Artificial intelligence and expert system. Object-oriented programming language helps to develop artificial intelligence and expert system. These are the application which is developed to solve complex to advanced system. These program and decision power is beyond a human brain, which is reliable and highly responsive. 4. Office automation system. These applications include formal and informal electronic systems that concerned with information sharing and communication among people. It also helps in making Office for automated system. For example, email, word processing, spreadsheet, calendar, desktop publishing, etc. 5. Neural network. It is very useful for estimation of complex time, varying systems by dividing into numerous time intervals. Therefore, it is developed in a specific time interval to separate the load of several networks. 6. Simulation and modeling. It is a process of creating and analyzing a prototype of physical model for technical decision-making. It helps to develop for complex systems such as ecology, zoology and agronomic systems. Therefore, object-oriented programming is very useful and provides an appropriate approach for simplifying those complex models. 7. Object-oriented database. It enables to represent data in the form of objects. Therefore, it is also known as ODBMS, Object Database Management Systems. It helps developers to handle complex data easily as well as capture the relationships in a natural way. 8. Client-server system. It provides information technology infrastructure such as operating system, hardware, system, network, etc. to create object-oriented client-server interface applications, OCSI. For example, Active Directory, FTPS, web server, mail server, etc. 9. CIA-E, CIA-M, CIA-D system. It helps to design model of electrical, electronic and mechanical models of machine to produce flowcharts and blueprint accurately as well as perfectly. I would like to thank you all for listening. You've been a wonderful audience. I really appreciate your applause. God bless you all.